Segregate us, finally! Finally! Great, y'all got the right damn generation because we don't give a damn.
So number 47 is making segregation for federal contractors legal.
And the president and his followers think in order to be great.
So bitch, if you gonna go and segregate us, hurry the up.
Whites to the back! To the back!
In a decision that has reignited debates over civil rights and workplace equality, the Trump administration has revoked a long-standing clause in federal contracts that explicitly banned segregated facilities, including separate restrooms and dining areas. This policy shift comes from Executive Order 14,173, titled Ending Discrimination and Restoring Merit-Based Opportunity, signed by President Trump on January 21, 2025. The order directs federal agencies to remove mandates related to diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, DEIA, in employment practices for federal contractors.
So number 47 is making segregation for federal contractors legal. And hopefully you guys know that this is bait. They want us to be mad and upset. They want to get us worked up. He is definitely trying to put us in situations where we may have to actually show out. He's definitely reaching and trying. For some strange reason, this man cannot get us out of his mind. He goes to sleep thinking about us and wakes up thinking about us. Does this man ever sleep? Trying to do everything he can to get us out in those streets. And we're not going. And for any of the companies or businesses that's thinking about actually segregating, hopefully you guys are paying attention to what has happened to Target. We did that. We did not have to leave the comfort and safety of our homes to boycott Target. Continue to stay at home, learning new line dances, new skills, and watching Tubi. So don't take the bait. Stay at home. Stay at home.
If you're confused about what's going on with Trump's executive order on segregation, let me explain. Although Trump did sign an executive order to remove a prior ban on segregation, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is still in place, which means it is still illegal to segregate a protected class. However, the reason this is such a huge deal is because the federal government is in charge of enforcing the Civil Rights Act and investigating civil rights violations. By Trump signing this executive order, he is making it loud and clear that the federal government does not intend to do their part in enforcement or investigation. Effectively, what he's done is made it known to businesses that they don't need to abide by the Civil Rights Act because the government won't enforce it. Several federal agencies, like the Department of Homeland Security and the National Institute of Health, have already begun issuing notices to employees advising them not to consider the prior ban on segregation going forward. While this is only one of the countless attacks on DEI that Trump has made, the potential impacts of this order are vast and frightening, especially considering the history our country has with segregation.
We're living in America, where the president and his followers think in order to be great, they have to demean and drag down other groups of people.
Segregate us, finally! Finally! Great, y'all got the right damn generation because we don't give a damn. Y'all should have left us alone the first damn time. Starting to give how you hating outside the club and you can't even get in. It's about to be the lit side versus the lame ass side. And when we get over there, don't come over there messing with us. Come over there stealing our stuff. Come over there copying us. Come over there criminalizing us. Come over there vandalizing and manipulating us. Leave us the hell alone.
So did you guys see that federal agencies are now bringing back segregation and that they quietly have undone the law that prohibits certain constitutions and institutions that have goods or services to segregate?
Bitch, if you gonna go and segregate us, hurry the up. Did they give us a date when the segregation shit gonna start? I can go in the house and go pack my bags and get ready to leave right now. Bitch, we've been asking to be segregated. They actually think we give a about being segregated. Y'all trying to trick us into getting these streets so y'all can go ahead and declare martial law. No, we will leave. We don't give a We don't give a about no motherfucking segregation, bitch. We want our own neighborhoods. We want our own cars. We want our own makeup brands. We want our own clothing brands. We want it all. And we got it all. You stole it and put y'all motherfucking names on it. So, bitch, if you gonna go and segregate us, hurry the up. If you gonna segregate us, hurry up. We ready to go. We tired of being around y'all. We tired of being around y'all, okay? If you want to segregate us, this is your one chance. You could really do what the you say you're going to do and segregate us. Please segregate us.
Supporters of this policy change argue that it simplifies federal contracting by removing unnecessary regulations. They contend that existing laws, such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964, already prohibit segregation and discrimination, making additional contractual clauses redundant. By eliminating these provisions, proponents believe businesses can operate more efficiently, prioritizing merit-based practices without the burden of excessive compliance requirements. Critics, however, see this move as a symbolic regression, evoking a past era of segregation. They argue that removing explicit prohibitions, even if legally redundant, sends a troubling signal about the government's commitment to civil rights. The original clause, introduced during the civil rights movement, served as a firm stance against segregation, and its removal raises concerns about the direction of federal priorities.
They talking about they rolled back the segregation law, baby. All the whites to the back. To the back. All the way to the back. Get your ass back there, cracker.
Trump just brought back segregation. That's all that's on my FYP today. Be so for real right now. We are in 2025. Just stop with that freaking narrative. Just stop already. What's even worse is the amount of people that I'm seeing commenting that are like, yeah, good. I hope he brings it back. And most of those people do not look like me. Yeah, so I don't know why you would want that. Sounds pretty damn hateful to me. He did not bring back segregation. What he did is try to protect women and children in bathrooms. I don't see where that's a problem. I would prefer to not have to worry about being in a restroom with a man walking in. Just a thought. I do have a daughter. I'd like to know that she's safe when she's in there. So, yeah. Trump did not bring back segregation. He did not bring back racial segregation for those in the back.
Donald Trump just brought back segregation. Yes, I'm saying that. He just brought back segregation. Segregation on bathrooms, on restaurants, on who to hire. That is part of removing DEI. Okay? Let's do it. Bring back segregation. I want to know where the fuck I'm not welcome. I want to know where my money does not deserve to be put at. Because let's make this very clear. Black people in America are the buying power. Y'all forget, we buy more than anybody else. I don't know why we do that shit, but we do. So let us know where the fuck we aren't welcome. Bring back segregation. I guarantee y'all gonna fuck up all y'all money. Because white folks don't shop like that. And when they do, they don't spend in middle class areas. It's the rich shit like Gucci and Prada. Not everyday hometowns. Go ahead and fuck yourselves up. Bring segregation back. Yup. Bring it on back. Let's see how this shit rides. You see what's going on with Target.
While the removal of the explicit ban is significant, it does not legalize segregation. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 and other anti-discrimination laws remain in effect, ensuring that segregation and discriminatory practices remain unlawful. The General Services Administration has reaffirmed that contractors must still comply with all applicable civil rights laws, regardless of their status as government contractors. This decision is part of a broader effort by the administration to reassess diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI initiatives within federal operations. The stated goal is to prioritize merit-based opportunities, though the move has sparked both support and criticism, reflecting the nation's ongoing debate over how best to achieve equality and fairness. As America continues to navigate its complex history and strive toward a more just society, policy changes like this serve as catalysts for national discussion. They push citizens and leaders to reflect on the nation's core values and consider how best to uphold justice and equality in an ever-evolving landscape.
While y'all are on here, bring back segregation, They already did when they wiped out DEI, but people are sounding the alarm on it because they are instituting it and telling companies to start to do it now. Segregated facilities are no longer explicitly banned in federal contracts, meaning they can do shit like rating rooms for colored onlys and white only gyms. Oh, you don't believe me? Let's read. The segregation clause is one of the several identified in a public memo issued by the General Services Administration just last month, affecting all civil federal agencies. Now, this memo explains it is making changes prompted by President Trump's executive order on diversity, equity, and inclusion, which replaced an executive order signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1965 regarding federal contractors and non-discrimination. Now, a recent notice from the National Institute of Health shows that change is already in effect. Several federal agencies, including the Department of Defense, Commerce, and Homeland Security, have notified staff who oversee federal contracts that they should start instituting these changes. The changes to the FAR 52-222-21, which is prohibition of segregated facilities, and 26, equal opportunities will not be considered when making award decisions or enforce requirements. Now, the prohibition of segregated facilities, the reason why we don't have to go into establishment and see for colored water fountains fucking only, is because of the Prohibition of Segregated Facilities Act. Contractor has to agree that it does not and will not maintain or provide for its employees any segregated facility at any of its establishments, which explicitly bans the use of segregation in public spaces. And guess what? Trump undid that, and the person who is whistleblowing on this and telling the federal agencies now have to do it doesn't even want to show his face. So while you guys are on here saying dumb shit like we're resting and digesting as black people, they're silently undoing everything that we worked years for. So yep, I'm gonna go now. Bye.
Oh, so I heard they bringing segregation back. Listen, I want to be one of the first ones to say, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? We don't care. It's crazy though, like, because when he was signing them executive orders, he probably was feeling like, oh, they about to be mad about this one. They about to be in the streets rioting about this one. They about to be tearing down stores and breaking in cars, and they probably thinking we about to act a fool off this one. Now, this is one of the first times we kind of just gonna be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's different than back in the day. We know our power now. You know what I'm saying? We the biggest consumers. We the ones that buy everything. We the ones that's trendy. We make everything cool. So, I mean, who really losing in this situation if you think about it? They use us for sports. They use us for comedy. They use us for music. They use us for influence. They use us for fashion. They use us for everything. So, I mean, who really losing in this situation? 9 out of 10, I'm with my own people anyway, and I love my people. You know, we got our problems. We got our issues. We got things we need to work on. We still dealing with trauma. We still brainwashed to the 3rd degree. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if that's the right way to say that, but we still brainwashed a lot. You feel me? But at the end of the day, I love my people. Ain't nothing that can take that away from me. And it's just, I mean, it'll just be what it is. You feel me? Plus, on top of that, if there's an establishment that would rather not me be in there, I would much rather know up front than get in there and feel weird vibes, get bad service, and basically just feel like less than a person just being around a certain type of people. Like, if you don't like me, I'll respect it if you just let me know up front, because I would rather not spend my money with you. You feel what I'm saying? So, hey, do y'all thing, man. Do what y'all do.
Segregation in the U.S. took hold after the Civil War, as Southern states enacted Jim Crow laws to enforce racial separation in schools, transportation, housing, and public spaces. In 1896, the Supreme Court upheld this system in Plessy v. Ferguson, ruling that segregation was constitutional under the separate but equal doctrine, though in reality, Black Americans faced vastly inferior conditions and opportunities. This legalized segregation remained in place for over half a century. But in 1954, Brown v. Board of Education struck down the doctrine, declaring that segregated schools were inherently unequal. That decision helped spark the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s, as leaders like Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., and Malcolm X mobilized millions through boycotts, marches, and nonviolent resistance. By 1964, pressure from the movement led to the Civil Rights Act, which officially outlawed segregation and banned racial discrimination in public spaces, employment, and federally funded programs. Yet, the legacy of segregation lingers today in schools, neighborhoods, and even federal policy debates. In a country where legal segregation is a thing of the past, why does the conversation still feel so present? Drop your thoughts below, and if you're into powerful stories like this, make sure to like and subscribe for more.